Hello guys, welcome to the Mainframe Guru YouTube channel. Today I am going to discuss Mainframe interview question related to JCL COBOL DB2 technology which are asked every time in an interview. So without wasting any time, let's go to the first question. First question is, how do you check one file is empty or not? Okay, how do you check one file is empty or not? So there are three ways to check the file is empty or not. Okay, first way is using IDCam utility. Second is using iStool utility. Third is file add utility. Okay, so let's see first utility IDCam. So here we are using IDCam utility and this is our file name and this is our DD statement name input. So what we are doing here, we are checking in it if there is one record or not. If there is one record or not, so we are using here print statement, like print in file character count 1. If there is even one count, so it will return 0 return code. If there is not means 0 record, it will, if there is 0 record, so it will return code will be 4. So what this statement do, it actually print the one character if it is available onto the device. So whenever interview asks to you that how will you find whether one file is empty or not using IDCam utility, so you need to tell this statement to the interviewer. So I have also written in note, like if input file is empty, then this step will return RC4 return code 4. If it is not empty, then this will be fine and RC will be 0. Knowing the return code of this step, one can say whether the input file was empty or not. Okay, let's go to the second utility. Second utility is iStool. Here we are using iStool utility and here we are using input file. You can give here file name and this is DD statement in. So what we are doing here, we are checking count of input file. This input file here, if it is empty, then set return code 8. Here it is like I have written set return code to 8 if the in file is empty, or set RC 0 if is not empty. Okay, these are related, and here we can perform the next step based on the return code. If it is 0, then of course step 2 will execute. If it is not 0, like if it is 8, then this step will not run. Okay, let's go to the next utility, file add. In file add utility, what happen when we are going to copy one empty input file to one output file, so what happen, it will return code 8. So if it is written 8, its mean file is empty. Okay guys, now let's go to the next question. Interviewer asks, sort JCL to filter data, want data of previous month from a file. So you everybody knows simple answer for that, like we will use this control card sort field equal to copy include cond 1 to 6 Ankit. If we want to find Ankit in a file at location 1, at position 1. Okay, so like if we are like user want to fetch the data of previous month, so what we will do, we will do like there is at 50 location there is date like 20 20 03 02. So what happen, it will check 50 greater 58, it is 8 length, it's a length. Okay, it's zone decimal and it's greater than equal to means it will check here this and it is less than, it will check greater than equal to this and less than equal to this. So how 20 20 03 01 greater than and means values, or you can say record, and less than equal to 20 20 03 31. So based on that condition our record will come into our output file. Okay, let's go to the next question. What will be the file status after reading all records of a file? So you know everybody, like if we read all record we reach at the status of end file. So a sequential read statement was attempted and no next logical record existed in the file because the end of the file had been reached. So what happened, it will return what code, it will return 10, return code will be 10, so its answer is 10. Let's go to the next question. How do you pass the data from JCL to COBOL program? We can pass data from JCL to COBOL program in two ways. First is using PALM keyword, second is using sys in DD in JCL. Okay, what's the basic difference in between them? Basic difference between these two way of passing are as follow. Using PALM on the exec keyword, we can pass only 100 character of data. With this we can pass only 100 character of data only. Also in COBOL we need to use linkage section to take the value of PALM keyword. Okay, when we pass data through sysin, we need to have the except keyword in the COBOL. For each row in sysin we need to have the corresponding except verb in COBOL. So let's check the first example, accepting data through JCL farm in COBOL. Like I have JCL and there is farm 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, there is itself 7 length. So what we give in linkage section, we give its first length, usage comp type variable, and second ls variable 1 variable 2, and you can give variable 3 as well. So what happen, and you need to give in procedure division using ls test farm, this you need to give. So ls variable 1 ls variable 2 ls test variable, it will print 12 and it will print 11, and what's the length of this 7, so it will print 7. So we have not print 1 2, so we can print that as well through variable 3. Okay, and using sys in method, how we do, like I have one JCL, okay, and there is sys in DD star. Okay, so what will give 12 then 31, so we need to pass this into our COBOL program. So this will come into first variable and this will come into second variable. So we are displaying that, and so its result will be 12 and its result will be 31. Okay, if we do not have any data to be passed, we can make sys in DD dummy. Okay, I tried passing blank value through sysin as well, was expecting an event but it didn't, it displays space in sysout. Okay guys, and second question is file attribute mismatch. Like when there is file attribute mismatch, what Abend will come? It will come for U40338 Abend. It will give the runtime error with an Abend code, Abend of file status. What will be file status? 39. So LRECL defined in the program is different whatever given in the JCL. And another thing, a file attribute mismatch was detected. File process report in program 1, like sample whatever you are using, had a record length of 140, and the file specify in the assign clause had a record length 139. So it's also mismatch. So there will also Abend come. So what is the difference between SOC7 and SOC4? You know, SOC4 Abend is protection Abend, okay, and SOC7 is data exception Abend. You know what is protection? Like every country has a boundary, and so like if anybody cross the boundary, country army can harm them. Okay, so what here protection mean? We are trying to read and write to an open file. Means we have not opened the file, but we are reading and writing it. So for Abend will come. And next is bad subscript for index. Like there is addressability issue. When you are trying to move a larger variable to a small variable, then it also comes SOC4. Like you have one missing, select statement is missing. So SOC4 Abend will come. Missing parameter in subprogram. Like in subprogram there is some parameter missing, then also SOC4 will come. Moving data to or from an open file. Like you have not open file, but you are moving data from this file, so SOC4 Abend will come. And when SOC7 come, SOC7 means data. It's a data related problem. Like when we try to move a non-numeric data into a numeric data item, so this will come. Basically, like when we do not initialize the numeric variable and we are going to use first time, then it will of course Abend with SOC7. Okay guys, and how will you resolve the SOC7 Abend? Like if any event come, how will you resolve? But I am going to tell you SOC7 Abend. So there are two ways to resolve the SOC7 Abend. First is using spool, and one is dump master. So like your one job is running and that is abandoned with SOC7. So its detail will come in spool as well as in dump master. So I am going to tell you through the spool. So first you have to go the spool and check the job logs, and then you need to check in this JES MSG LG. Then there you need to check which step is abandoned. So after that, then you need to check that step sysout. There will be module name at which it is abandoned. Means there is some data problem in that module, and there also address also given. And perform log, there is no need to. It's a performance stats. It's tell performance stats. And cdump, you will find the record at which the Abend occur. In this cdump you will check. And in DB2 diag there is successful connection set or not for DB2. So mainly at which record it come, you can check through the cdump. Okay, or either you can check through the dump master. It's all very easy. You can check through DM dump master as well. So accordingly, like you here know the corrupted record. So you need to strip that record. Strip that record. Okay, then rerun the job and it will complete successfully. Okay guys, and now next is what is difference between search and search all. So in search and in search all, in search what we how we search the value, and in search all how we will search. We use here linear or sequential search, we use here binary search. In search, record need not be in sorted order, and but it should be in sorted order. We have to set index variable to 1 before performing search. Here no need to set index variable to 1 as the records are in sorted order. Any logical operation can be performed, like you can perform greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to, not equal to, and equal to as well. Only here only one operator will be possible. Multiple when condition can be coded here, but here only one single condition is coded. Okay guys, and in search, preferable when table is small and it's when a table is large. Here is search syntax, like you need to set index variable to 1 first, and then search your means table, means whatever data you want to, whatever you in whatever data means you want to search in a table. So give here the array name or table name. Okay, at end and display record not found, and then you need to give here department id, like department id, and what you need to search that you need to give here, and that index variable come here and display if it is found. If at end it is not found, then record no display will be printed. And same here, like search all here, and there also same and the same. Okay, next question is, how will you pass the null value into a DB2 table? In null is not the same as 0 or blank. Null means no entry has been made for the column. It implies that the value is either unknown or not applicable. So interviewer asks, like there is DB2 table, how will you pass every time in null value into a DB2 table through COBOL DB2 program? So null indicator, what is null indicator? Null indicator is used by the DB2 to track whether its associated column is null or not. Null indicator variable in COBOL must be declared as pick s904 with com5 data type. So I am going to tell, if your null indicator's value is coming, means its value is coming -1, then field is null. Okay, and if its value is coming 0, then field is not null, means valid data is coming. Okay, valid data is coming. And if it is -2, then field value is truncated. Like if interview asks, how will you insert the null value into a DB2 table? So you need to pass -1 value to the null indicator, then it will inserted null only. To insert a valid value, move 0 to the null indicator. Like I have, this is syntax, you can check here, like -1 I have passed the to null indicator of first variable. Like here, insert into table name column 1 and column 2, and this is first variable and this is null indicator. So in this, null value will come always. Now next question is, which utility do you use for loading the data in DB2? We use dsn util lib utility to load the record from the data set into a table. That is defined with this, means whatever data we need to load, we need to give here our file name. Okay, like I can show you, in this is our JCL, this is here, like you can see here sysrack. You need to give your input file data which you want to load into a table, and like in which table you want to load, you need to give this query here based on your field in the table. Okay, like you need to give position 1 to 3 and position for department name 4 to 39. So you need to give this, like these all are character types, so you need to give here. And so we can also unload the data using this utility only, dsn utlib. Okay. And next question is, what is difference between index, subscript and index? Subscript is occurrence. It internally convert to displacement and fetch the value. It holds the address of the value and directly fetch the value. Okay, it's a slower method, it's a faster method. Subscript is a working storage variable. Index is an internal item. It should be declared in working storage section. No need to declare index variable into working storage section. It can be incremented or decremented with compute or perform, like compute with this and this. And but here we used to use set verb to increment the index, like I have used set index variable to 1, set index variable to 1. Here is syntax like occurs 10, but here you need to give index by I, so it is internal. You need not to declare this index variable. Okay. Okay, thank you guys. Please subscribe the channel if you want more notification.